So, this is kind of random. I have a Minecraft bedrock realm between me and some really close personal friends, and anybody in my life's welcome, really. It's not an exclusive thing, but when people tell you they have a Minecraft realm or even a server, in some cases with servers on Java, they can be quite extreme and fun, and they can stray as far as they want from the original game, right? In Bedrock, you used to be more limited than you are now. Now you're not so limited. You just need a lot of knowledge to do things. This is kind of a crazy one. So I run my own personal Bedrock realm, as I already said. It's a 10-person realm, including 11, me as the admin, if I'm on. But other than that, it's 10 players, and it's a dungeon crawler. It's a fully fledged RPG dungeon crawler. Maybe not fully fledged, but I mean, goddamn, you could spend days grinding in this world. And I mean, you could spend even more building and exploring and doing what you would normally do in a Minecraft world. So this isn't the realm. This is a copy of the realm. So this is a world. So this is like a backup. I'm going to challenge myself. I'm going to play my own Minecraft realm. And I'm going to start from nothing and just try to run through every single dungeon sequentially. So that's what I'm going to do. So you'll see on the right side of my screen here, like around here, there's a scoreboard for gold coins. Now, since this is a backup of the realm, I mean, even if it was the realm, I would just probably write it down and give it back to myself if I really cared to keep that money after the challenge. But luckily for us, this is just a backup, so I can, we're back to 0. So we have no money. We have no XP. We have nothing in our inventory. I mean, obviously cheats are enabled, but I'm not going to use them. And my goal is with only touching my own structures, so with only touching quests, reaping rewards from NPCs, things I like to call game play, what do I call them, game objective, like it's very clearly part of the game of the server, right? And excuse me, I will probably call it a server a couple times throughout this video. It's a realm. It's a bedrock realm. It's not a server, but I'm just used to calling it a server, so. And yeah, like I said, let me make sure that difficulty is on hard because that's what it's on normally. And other than that, everything should be good and set up to go. Structures like this, they're not always dungeons. Sometimes they're just like mini-generated structures, and actually, believe it or not, there's an add-on structure set for the dragons mod that we've installed, so we will probably encounter structures that I did not build, but Minecraft, Mojang didn't necessarily build either. And I'm gonna have to remind myself multiple times that this is a backup and not the main backup, because I have basically free range to break anything, raid anything. I don't have to worry about certain things, and it's nighttime. So what's funny about that actually is they all have helmets on. Every skeleton that spawns on that ship has a helmet, so they'll stick around in the daytime and not burn up, which is unfortunate for us because that could have been a token to some early currency, early gold coins, but nonetheless we'll prevail. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is behind this tree set there's a tutorial dungeon. Ooh, I gotta not do that. Yeah, I might have just killed myself. I guess another thing I should mention is that this is a keep inventory game. Be observant before diving in. That's okay. I'm just gonna land in the water here. And yeah, like I said, this is just a tutorial dungeon. I don't need to read these signs because I know my own mechanics. Although I guess I could read them just for the sake of the video. This one says, torching off a spawner can sometimes be helpful. It prevents most mobs from spawning, and you don't have to break it. Sometimes, however, you may have no choice but to break it, which is true. Sometimes you will have to break these spawners to prevent things from spawning. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you literally cannot break them. But, always try. And so this sign tells you look for spots that stick out. So essentially there's this little hole here. I could stick my arm in there and get a big red juicy apple, but that's okay. We don't actually. No, I do need that. No, I do need that. What am I talking about? I do need that. You'll never have to break blocks to pass an area, but a lot of the time you'll need to break iron bars, fences, and glass. So I don't even have a pickaxe yet. There are starter kits I could grab. I guess I could have grabbed some wood before I came down here. At the very least, grab some stones if that's okay. I right-clicked. So it is locked and hard, but for newer players, there are starter kits. There's an option to have starter kits if you want. Part of this challenge for me is I'm not going to grab any of those. They're not OP, but they're a great start. I think this will be an even greater start though. I mean, I created this world, so surely I can survive the perils of this world without needing any help. At no times in the dungeons are there beds permitted, so you like if I'm here in this dungeon, I can't put a bed here and keep my spawn point here. That's not allowed. No spawns in dungeons. So you could do it outside. So like out at the entrance outside, I could put my bed there and set my spawn there, but you know, I don't have a bed yet, so look out for traps. Some are obvious, some might not be. This one, pretty darn obvious. I think that's a harmless potion, but oh, okay. Here's our first good item. This is gonna allow us to go really fast when we hold it. It's also gonna allow us to jump really far. It gives us jump 2, so we can jump 2.5 blocks instead of just 1. Any slime ball will do that. So just hold on to a slime ball. You only need 1. And yeah, there's some more, but we don't need those. When you come down here, most players wouldn't just like outright come to this area, but when you do come down here, you'll see this. Keep an eye out for buttons and levers. They can be harder to spot. This one's not so hard, but typically I try to hide things. I like to, you know, make people look. But anyways, we'll just flip that and it's gonna, you know, not surprisingly open that door for us. Now, it puts us in this tall room here with this guy, Cedric the cleaner, and these signs read, the golden helmet has a decent chance of dropping from the Slime King. Bring it to old Cedric here and he will get you out of here if needed. So we kind of drop down out of here. I do have jump boost now, but that's not going to help us get out of here. We quite literally have no way to get out of here unless I just grab a bunch of dirt somewhere and build up. But you are allowed to do that, by the way. You're allowed to build in dungeons. You can build and you don't have to break it down. But you just can't break. So like this, I can't break this. Okay, but like just about anything else, like if I was with a party of people and they asked if they could take a trapdoor, I mean, I don't know why you would want to do that, but that would be fine. Just as long as you're not breaking through the walls or in through the walls. That's like the only thing. Anyways, those signs pretty much tell you whatever Cedric's gonna tell you. He tells you that if you bring him the crown, he'll get you out of here. So that's pretty nice thing to find down here. And so we'll continue on. There's this here, but doesn't really look like anything's in here. There's this here. This is something. Look for light in every nook and cranny. And that's true. And look, we got some torches out of it. And we got a damaged anvil. I'm actually going to take that. Unfortunately, there's really no other way to progress from here except but to go this one lone way that's left. You'll notice here me holding the torch allows us to get some light too. So there's lots of torches. And then we come out here. Most players might need a second of looking around and such to realize where they are. This is the boss room, however. Oh, that's gonna be a problem. Uh-oh. Okay. You know what? That's my bad. I probably should have went down there with some stone. So let's go do that. I'm gonna go chop some trees real quick and line up some stone. Hello, dragons. They're kind of annoying. There's supposed to be a way to fix that. It doesn't work. I have faith though that it will work one day. Maybe. We're not gonna worry about that though. Oh, and you know what? Actually, dude, fuck the stone sword. This one's not, but that's not why we're here. We're here to be powerful. Immediately, I'm gonna break this. Immediately. Okay, alright. It's good to know what this does then. But we're good. That's the only spawner here. That's the only imminent danger. Ow. But you know what? Like I said, in true roguelike fashion, you don't always know what shit's gonna do. You may build up in dungeons to help get around, however, there are usually ways to easily get around. Clear the boss as many times as you want to get the sweet loot. And it'll come in this chest. This isn't supposed to be here, this is supposed to be empty. We're just gonna ignore that. The loot provided after each fight are random and pre-existing chests. That's pretty cool. Come on. So we have the slimy panel here. That button is going to spawn the boss. I still don't have a name for this summoning block, this system, I guess. This button puts down a redstone block somewhere close by and begins a long chain, which is basically a command circuit. So I'm going to press this button and he's going to spawn over there. He's going to be one of three sizes. He's either going to be small, medium, or large. No matter what, he's going to have the same HP and the same damage. So it does not matter which one we get. I'm honestly inclined just to fight him with the stone sword. This sword is... Oh, that's why. He's tiny! He's tiny! He's not hard. He does have armor, so he has some defense against you. He only has 65 health, so you just gotta click on him until his health dwindles away. And he's gonna fall down here. That's okay. I didn't mean for this to happen. I knew that he was going to be able to do this, so that's not really an issue. Can't let him touch us. He's gonna do a lot of damage to us in our current vulnerable state. If I kill him, he has a couple drops. He's a couple physical drops beyond the chest, okay? We got one of them! Oh my god. This is one of the things I hoped we would get from this. We didn't get the fucking helmet, but we did get the leap charm, which is going to make us naturally jump super high. It's going to make us jump as high as the slime ball. Good news, they do stack, so we can just jump like almost 8 blocks now. So these two are equal in jump distance, but yeah, when combined, it is going to combine your jump capacity, which is intended. Sweet, dude. We actually got a really decent chest. We got some materials here for building. We got a pair of boots. We got our first piece of armor here. Some chainmail boots. We got a potion. That's really good. And we've got the banner. One thing every boss in this world has, every dungeon has a couple different bosses, so you have a chance of getting, you know, a couple different. Some bosses have different variations of their banners, but all bosses have banners. That's our first piece of jewelry and our first piece of armor. We just need a gold helmet. Come on. Yes. Trying to land crits. Give me the helmet. Give me the crown. No crown. That is disappointing. We did indeed get another chest. A couple more torches, some coal. We got it! We got it! I should check the chest. But if we come to Cedric, and we talk to him finally, and we tell him we have it, he puts us right here. And yeah. That's the tutorial dungeon done. And with that, you basically have all the knowledge you really need to start dungeon crawling. One important thing to note, speaking of knowing how to dungeon crawl, the most important part of dungeon crawling is knowing where they are. It's a Minecraft world. It's infinitely scaling in all directions. Maybe not infinite, but I mean pretty damn close to it. The point is, there's 14 or so total dungeons. Some are not so big. Some are really big. But there's only 14 of them. An infinite world with 14. And I mean, I'm always making new ones and like changing old ones. So like that number does grow and like the old dungeons get bigger and more interesting as time goes on. But a really important thing you're going to want to know is basically how to get to them. How you do that is you come to this first tavern and spawn. This is the first place you come to buy dungeons. And all you need to do is talk to the barmaid and ask for a secret. When you do, she brings you here. To the dungeon shop. Well, the first one, that is. There are a couple different dungeons you can buy, so they're in order from... There's no chronological order that you need to do them, truthfully. You could do the hardest dungeon in this entire plane of existence as your first dungeon. If you're with strong enough people that can get you through, have fun. But these are in order from least difficult to most difficult, and for the sake of the challenge, I'm going to start here and work my way up. These are 6,000 each. So I'm going to need to like grind off camera to make the currency, but I'm willing to do that part. We have the Pirate Cape, the Kingdom Dungeons, the Witch's Lair, the Twin Vault. We have the Miner's Mistake, which is a really good dungeon. And we have the Iron Halls, which is also a really good dungeon. And yeah. The only way you can get out of here is you gotta talk to the Shady Mancer, and you just tell him you gotta leave. And he'll take you out. And yeah. There you go. We didn't even have to pay to get in, and we came out with some pretty cool stuff. Except for you. Fuck you.